Hello, everybody. Welcome to Thursday. The S&P 500 was down a little bit less than 0.5% today, which actually turned out to be a pretty good day in the end. It was down a lot more in the morning, down 1.2%, kind of driven, by last night's earnings expectations, forward expectations from Meta. Zuckerberg, starts talking about the metaverse, and their stock always gets hit. And so it's kind of silly to have the whole stock market come down for that because actually, Meta, formerly known as Facebook, did really well. They had good earnings results for the quarter, and I think they'll continue to do well. Actually, they've got a nice business model altogether. But he starts talking about these things, that are so far off and kind of scares the investors and what have you. But also, we got the gross domestic product number for the quarter, which annualized out at 1.6%. That's less than expected, should have been around 2% and lower than what we were seeing last year. And so that kind of, created some problems in the morning. And then, of course, we had the whole scenario where the inflation report came out for core PCE. Now, core PCE is what the Federal Reserve looks at for the Federal, for looking for inflation when they want to get to 2%. If you look at the third and fourth quarter of last year and you annualize those out, it's at 2%. But the first quarter of this year actually annualizes out at 3.7%. So you can kind of see, this jump in inflation that's happening in this first quarter. Now, it's not enough to derail the whole concept. If you look back, we've had several quarters that jumped up, and then the overall trend is still kind of coming down. And so that's what's kind of set the market off this morning and had it falling. And then, but after hours, Google stock or Alphabet, was roaring. And matter of fact, most of the tech stocks are really doing well right now after hours. And so I think some dip buying came in, possibly kind of expecting some good numbers. So Alphabet came out with good numbers, and they offered a $70 billion stock buyback and their first ever dividend. And so welcome to, earnings season, especially this portion of earnings season when we get these big companies reporting. These are the companies that do quite well, and they can drive the market. But it's a weird time frame because, technically we've been in this little downturn, and then the market is, overall in an upturn. So you've got this kind of forces that are kind of crashing into each other here. Inflation's coming up, but, that also means that recession is probably less likely, although the GDP is a little soft. So very, confusing time frame when you look at all the data. However, the dip buying came in today. I think that's important. So people saw this market, at this negative 1.2% or more today, and came in and drove it back up to negative 0.5%. And, looking at what happens after hours here, I wouldn't be surprised to see tomorrow do quite well. Anyway, we got to hang in there, just keep on going. Market's still doing really fantastic. We're a little ways away from our high that we were at, but that's normal. You're only at the high for a while, and then usually come back down for a bit and take a rest. So we're getting a good rest time here, and earnings are continuing to increase, which is going to drive down the PE ratio overall, makes things, more comfortable for, the next leg up, if we have one. So anyway, that's what's happening today. Looking forward again to the show tomorrow. We're going to be, doing the summary of what I saw happening this week. This is a pretty good week to really look at. And, it's 12:15 to 1 o'clock on YouTube at Talk Money with Tom. It's live, so you can ask questions as we go and such too. So love to have you join us if you'd like. Anyway, I'll see you then. Thank you very much.